Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is a long-awaited video. I have not filmed it yet, I'm just filming the intro and outro, but this video, dun 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 dun, is my eyeshadow palette collection. All my palettes. It has been a pretty relatively highly requested video, especially since I've been doing not my declutter series. It's actually just like my makeup inventory series. People are like, when's your eyeshadow palette video coming? That's mostly what everyone cares about, and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. My lash is coming up. Sorry. Last time I did this, I think it was in March 2020. So it's been like a year and a half-ish. Almost 2 years, actually. And I went through my palettes and I swatched them all. I have doubled my collection of eyeshadow palettes since that video. So I just don't have the time right now to swatch all of my palettes and put out as many videos and content and stuff as I would like. So instead, I'm just going to run through them. I'm going to show you where I store them. They're all behind me here. And I do have a plan that will involve swatching my palettes, but I'm not going to include swatches in this video. I will link though my old palette collection video in the cards and down below, because if you're interested in seeing swatches at least of half my palettes, they are in there. And I will also put the palettes that I bought in 2020 video. I'll link it here and down below as well, because I swatched all of those palettes in that video. So if there's a palette that you're curious about, I have swatched it, but I have not swatched, done a video swatching all of the palettes that I bought in 2021. I mean, the year's almost end, but I'll probably do some type of roundup at the end of the year. But yeah, so I actually probably on my channel somewhere have swatches of all of the palettes that I have, because I think almost every single palette that I've bought in 2021 I have made a video on, and I've probably also done a 3 looks 1 palette with it. So so that information is out there. I'm so sorry that I couldn't swatch all my palettes, but it's just not feasible for me currently. I will also say that this is my palette collection as of November 24th, 2021. So I do have some palettes on my way to me. I mean, I pretty much always have palettes on my way to me. And I do have the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence, and the Beauty Bay Jade palette that I have not filmed with yet. So, and I'm going to soon, so they're not with my other palettes, but those are technically now part of my collection. I have counted, and including, I guess, these 2 new palettes, I have 104 palettes, which is a lot. That's a fucking lot of palettes, but honestly, if I do say so myself, I do use my palettes. I'm pretty good at rotating through my palettes, and I know them, I love them. And I'm pretty versed in them. So it doesn't honestly feel like I have an overwhelming collection, because I do make a conscious effort to cycle through my palettes and use my older palettes. Some of them that are really old, like my Naked palettes and stuff, I don't really use, but yeah. So this is a longer intro than I thought I was going to have. Let's just get into the palette collection, shall we? Okay, hello everyone. This is my palette storage situation. It may be a little bit dark because I have everything. I have my desk pushed back, I have my ring light way back there. Maybe if I move this mirror, that might be a little bit better. But yeah, so I have all my palettes in here. The bottom section is cut off, but I just have miscellaneous things in there anyway. I just have, this is a random IKEA shelf. This is old. It was from my roommate in undergrad. like she bought it and like brought it, I think, on the metro. Emily, if I'm wrong, please correct me. And then at least 2 other people have used this since me. It's kind of just like been part of this room, and it's perfect, literally perfect to hold my palettes. And then up here on this top shelf, I have random stuff. Let's just get, speaking of what's on this top shelf, let's just get these out of the way. So the first palette I have here, I will do close-ups of these yes, I will. Okay, I will. This is Lunar Beauty Moonspell in all her glory. I just love the packaging of these, so I put them up on the top as a little display. And then we have volume 2 from Lunar Beauty. I have done a 3 looks 1 palette with both of these, I believe. Okay, so this section over here holds all of my Juvia's Place, Odin's Eye, and Beauty Bay palettes. The first Juvia's Place palette that I have here is the Nubian 2. Beautiful. Then I have the Masquerade Mini. I have the Magic Mini. I have the Zulu. I have the Warrior 3. So obviously I do not have these in order. I have the OG Warrior, the Festival, the Deuce, the Tribe, the infamous Tribe. Ooh, that's not great lighting. The Warrior 2, the Nomad, the Saharan, the Afrique, this is gonna be a long video to film, and the Nubian. Alright, so I have 3 Odin's Eye palettes, which you should be familiar with because I have uploaded 3 looks 1 palette with all of these. So I have the, oh, my battery's gonna die. Hold on. Palettes here. So the first is the Giant Wolves palette in collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner from the Legendary Diversa collection. The Red Dragon palette in collaboration with Judy. And the Hummingbird palette in collaboration with Tina from the Fancy Face. And then I have all of my Beauty Bay palettes in this little section as well. So I have the Beauty Bay Utopia. Oops. Oh, God. Beauty Bay Wilderness. Oh my God. I guess this is more for me because Beauty Bay Sunset Horizons. And Beauty Bay Book of Magic. In this middle section here, I have all my Kaleidos palettes, my EBH palettes, and 2 Colored Rain. So I have Kaleidos Escape Pod. I have done a 3 looks video with this as well. Kaleidos Club Nebula in collaboration with Angelic and Nikavist. I have a 3 looks 1 palette on with that. Kaleidos Flower Punk. I have a 3 looks 1 video with this as well. Alright, and then I have I have almost all of the little Futurism palettes. I do not have the neon one, but I have all the other ones. So this is Futurism 1, Sci-Fi Green. Futurism 2, Astral Bronze, Cyber Bronze. Futurism 3, Astro Pink. Futurism 5, Electro Turquoise. Futurism 6, which is Lunar Lavender. And Futurism 7, Sashimi City. And I have all of my ABH palettes. So this is good old Modern Renaissance. Soft Glam, which I'm actually wearing on my eyes today. Subculture. Riviera. And Jackie Aina. And then, like I said, I have 2 Colored Rain palettes in this little cubby as well. I have the Ever Lovely collaboration with Power. If I can show you. Oh my god. Good thing I will do close-ups because this is just not conducive to quality content. And then I have Safari Rain. Alright, and so this furthest cubby at the top on the end is like a mixture of different palettes, but mostly it's my like special palettes. It's my like most expensive ones, the ones I covet the most, my faves are all kind of in here, along with some random ones. So there's not like a super intense rhyme or reason. I don't have like these ones. I have a lot of the same brand, but this is like kind of more random. So the first one in here is Colored Rain Juicy Boost. Everyone, if you watch me, you know how much I love this palette. I have 2 Dominique Cosmetics palettes. So this is Rustic Glam. And Berries and Cream. I have 3 Pat McGrath palettes. I have the Celestial Divinity from last year's holiday collection. I have the 3 Looks 1 palette video with this as well. I have the glorious Mothership 5, I believe, Bronze Seduction, or is this 4? Maybe this is 4. Bronze Seduction. I literally, every time I read a Roman numeral, I tell myself I need to learn them, and I don't. And then I have the Mothership Rose Decadence. There is a little sleeve in there that just fell out. I have the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Meadow palette. I have 1 Natasha Denona palette. This is the Metropolis. I have a 3 Looks 1 palette with this as well. I got this for Christmas last year. Now we have all of my Melt palettes. So this is the Melt Beetlejuice, the Waiting Room palette. I also got this for Christmas last year. Unfortunately, I do not have the other Beetlejuice palette, but that's okay. I have the Melt Amor Eterno Muerte palette and the Amor Eterno Vida palette. I have Melt Gemini and Melt Smoke Sessions. I have 3 Sydney Grace palettes, the collaboration with Temptalia. I have 3 Looks 1 palettes with all of these palettes. So this is the Quintessence palette, the On the Horizon palette, and the Radiant Reflection palette. I have 3 Adept palettes here. So I have a Plain Jane, Hydron, and Kodan. I would like to say that I'd have more videos using these, but I don't know about Adept as a brand currently. Then lastly in this cubby we have Beauty Bakery Do It for the Gram palette. I like the shimmers in here, but I don't love the mattes. Okay, I zoomed you out a little bit, so hopefully you can kind of see what's going on in these 3 cubbies, but I'll show you anyway. So this one down here is more of my affordable palettes. So ColourPop, most of my Makeup Revolution palettes are in here. I have 1 e.l.f. one, and then 3, I have a NYX one, then some more random ones. For ease of sitting for me, I'm going to just sit here, right in front of you. Okay, so the ColourPop palettes I have are the Honey. Not that you don't know what these already look like, I'm sure. The Ooh La La. Main Squeeze, It's My Pleasure. These are the monochromatic palettes from ColourPop that I have. Then I have 4 of their 12 pans. So we have the Zodiac palette in collaboration with Kathleen Lights, the Dream Street palette also in collaboration with Kathleen Lights, Good Sport, and Yes Please. Brings Back Mems. The 3 random palettes that I have are, I have this Makeup Forever 9 Artist Shadow palette in version 3. I do not like this very much at all. I have the Pure and Raw Beauty Christie palette. And the NYX Ultimate Shadow palette in Phoenix. And then I have 1 e.l.f. palette. This is the Electric Mood X Tiana Major 9 Feeling Lucky palette. It was a collaboration palette that came out like a couple months ago. I bought this on a whim. I don't use it a ton. It's fine. And then I have a whole bunch of Makeup Revolution palettes. So I have the Makeup Revolution Roxasaurus palette. Oops. I have the Reloaded Neutrals 2. Reloaded Iconic Vitality, which is obviously a dupe for Modern Renaissance. Reloaded Iconic Fever. Reloaded Neutrals 3. Reloaded Visionary. And Reloaded Iconic Division, which is obviously a dupe for Subculture. Okay, and then we have this middle cubby. This is a very random assortment of palettes. I have a lot of my old, like OG palettes in here, and then some like kind of random ones. So all of my Urban Decay palettes are in here. So I have OG Naked, which actually was new to me like 2 years ago. So it's not like OG Naked, but it is the OG Naked. The Naked 2, which I'm not going to open because it is broken inside. Naked 3. Is this broken inside? No, this I can show you. Which I'm sure everyone also already knows what the Naked palettes look like. I have the Urban Decay Born to Run. And the Urban Decay X Gwen Stefani palette. Another really OG one. OG. Ah! Okay, an exciting development just occurred, which I will share with you in a moment, but I'm almost done. So now moving on to some of my more like random palettes here. I also have the Tarte Tartist Pro, another OG guy. The Too Faced Chocolate Bar, another OG. This is all like smushed. KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light Eye Palette. Yes, I like legitimately keep most of my palettes. I don't think I've ever decluttered a palette, to be honest. Then I have the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk. Oops. This is a recent one. I did a first impressions on this. This is the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest palette. Right here. And then I have some like little tiny guys. So this is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 Summer Breeze. The Pat McGrath Eye Ecstasy Subversive palette. This just has five little eyeshadows in it. The Smashbox Covershot Nova eye palette, which apparently was limited edition for holiday in some year. I don't know, my neighbor actually gave this to me. And the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions. And then lastly, I have in this cubby, let me pull it out, I have 3 of my Lime Crime palettes. So I have Venus, the original, Venus 2, and Venus 3. I have a video, not a 3 looks with all of these palettes, but I have the 3 looks using these 3 palettes. 1 look each palette, you know? And then in my last cubby here, I have my Morphe palettes, and then I also have my singles, which I'm not going to show you today because this is about eyeshadow palettes. And I will be the first to admit that all of these Morphe palette purchases are clown purchases, but you know what? That's okay. Morphe and James Charles. We all know what it looks like. And then the original Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. I feel like I'm kind of like a caricature of like a beauty YouTuber right now. Like the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe. Sitting on my floor. And then I have the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. So this is the Dark Magic palette, the Ring the Alarm palette, the Armed and Gorgeous, and the Bling Boss. And then, okay, in the middle of filming this video, I received the BH order that I made recently in the mail. They had a 40% off pre-Black Friday sale, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy the palettes that I know I want. I'm not gonna go overboard. 40% off, I got them for like 10 bucks each, and I think that's pretty good. So, I'm true to my word, I only got 4 palettes, only 4, but I could have gotten crazier. So I got the, I guess I could just take it out of the sleeve. So this is included now in my palette collection. This is the Blueberry Muffin. Oops, this little sleeve is on here. Look at that. I'm so excited to use these. I also got the Avocado Toast. The Passion in Paris. My friend Carrie has this palette and she said that it's really great, so I was like, well, I'm sold. And the Lost in Los Angeles. This was like kind of a last minute decision, but the shimmers look really pretty, so I'm glad I have that. And I guess while I'm sitting on the ground telling you about all my new palettes, I also on my way, which actually it said it should be delivered today, so if I have it here before I'm filming these close-ups, I'll insert a clip. I also just ordered the Likely Makeup Ugly palette, I believe that's what it's called, but yeah, and that's all of the palettes that I have or are on my way to me. I haven't made any other palette orders. So technically in my collection I have 109 palettes, which is a lot of palettes. But like I said, palettes, I filmed an outro to this, but let me just give my thoughts here. My palettes are my babies. I use them all the time. I love them. They bring me joy. I don't really feel overwhelmed by my collection and it makes me happy. And that's what's important. If you want to have if you want to have a small palette collection, that's amazing. If you love buying eyeshadow palettes, that's also amazing. And that is my 2 cents on that. But let me go to the outro because I did film that. So you don't have to see me sitting on the floor anymore. Okay, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love watching palette collections. I know you all do too, okay? We all love watching palette collections. I hope this was to your liking. Like I said in the intro, I will have a video. I have a video series idea that I wanted to do, which will involve theoretically swatching all my palettes. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Don't be too sad, and check out the links down below if there was any palette that you were really curious about seeing swatched out. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.